it's time to step into the inner sanctum of the Geelong cricket scene with the Inside Edge.
Hello and welcome to the Inside Edge, proudly supported by Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers. I'm Wes Cusworth, joined by my co-host in Mark Brunga, and I dare say you got to see some quality cricket over the weekend.
Gee Wes, the Division 2 competition's looking good already, looking very even. Some real highlights on the weekend. First of all, a big shout out to Alexander Thompson, who won their first game since stepping up to Division 2. They had a very good win over Mottawarri, so congratulations to Jack Clapham and the boys there. Belpost Hill hit their straps. They had a nice win over the reigning premier in Division 2, so they're certainly showing their credentials very early. And a couple of other interesting ones. Torquay with a strong win against St Peters, and an amazing effort at Bell Park, where Bell Park played their traditional rivals in Marshall, where we record the show here at the Marshall Cricket Club. Our fan favourite, Jake Hilton, 5 stumpings for the day.
It's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He was absolutely on fire behind the stumps, was Paris, and he left them in his wake.
Well, Mark, I must give you great credit because you were absolutely ideally positioned to capture some of those stumpings and obviously showcase some of Paris's best work. So well done to you too.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was a good day for photography on Saturday. So it was great to see Paris at work. He's one of the best glovemen in the region. There's no doubt about that. And he was really on form on Saturday afternoon.
He's had a couple of big weeks. I think the week before he struck his first 6 ever or something like that. His teammates were telling us all about that. So it's been a big time for Jake.
Yeah, there's a few people concerned there that he might get ahead of himself a little bit, young Jake, but we know he'll be right. Paris will be fine. He'll keep it low key.
Is that why he wasn't answering his phone and requests to come on the show this week?
Yeah, so I think Brad Greenwood is his booking secretary, and Brad wasn't too keen to let him on again, just in case he sort of might have got a bit ahead of himself.
Well, Mark, it'll come as no surprise to you to know that in my capacity as the Geelong Advertiser reporter for GCA1, that's where I spent my Saturday. I got around to all 5 games. I saw some fabulous cricket, and here's a bit of an overview. A stunning cameo from on-loan Geelong Premier cricket paceman Don McGlinchey was the catalyst to North Geelong's 34-run defeat of East Belmont, leaving the Magpies the only undefeated side in GCA1 after 3 rounds. McGlinchey struck an unbeaten 93, partnering Mitch Troy, who knocked up 54 as the pair added 110 runs in a vital 6th wicket stand. Jack Jenkins took 4 for 41 for the Lions. Don McGlinchey then turned his hand to what he's best known for, capturing a pair of wickets, including that of Lions superstar Sean O'Neill for an outstanding 110 ball 102. That's obviously an outstanding win given the fact that you were perilously placed at 3 for 11.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect us to come as hard as we did at the end. They've obviously got an amazing batting lineup, and they go hard. They always have. Because luckily, Soup and Jake bring it back. They always do. We can rely on them. We know we've got enough depth with the ball, and yeah, luckily we've got a couple of quick wickets in the middle and really brought it back.
It's been an interesting time, hasn't it, with the advent of Premier cricket players coming back into your ranks, and obviously you've benefited from that as much as any club with Jake Thorne and then of course Don McGlinchey today.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's good for local cricket. It gets local boys back to their club, and we're pretty lucky that we got Dom and Blackie both back. I think we still got them for another week, maybe 2. So we do lose Thorny, but it's exciting for local cricket to really step up and have that talent with us.
And obviously that middle order consolidation via Mitch Troy and Don McGlinchey. Tell me about the way in which that innings was shaped.
Yeah, that's just what Mitch does. He doesn't care if we're 5 for 0. He comes in, he plays his game every single time, and probably his last 5 or 6 innings he's done that and really showed that he's a genuine all-rounder. And Dom just looked at home. He's a genuine all-rounder as well, and he come out and looked comfortable, and he was probably stiff not to get his 100. I think he finished 93 not out. So yeah, it was an amazing knock and really set us up.
And at the end of your innings, did you feel that was going to be adequate against East Belmont, who we know have plenty of firepower up top?
Yeah, I think on this ground especially, it's pretty quick. The wicket was good, so I think 240 was probably par, and they were looking pretty comfortable. I think they were 1 for 100 off 20, so to bring it back, we done really well to end up winning the game. Yeah.
And obviously the wicket sort of flattens out a little bit as the day unfolds, so am I right in thinking that it's going to get easier to bat?
Yeah, 100%. They used their new ball really well, got us in trouble. We probably didn't use it as as good as we could, and it flattened out, and that's when the spinners come involved and really saved us pretty much.
Now, there's been some advocates for one-day cricket every week, week in, week out, every season, not even a COVID-affected season. What are you learning about the nature of GCA cricket when we're playing so much one-day cricket and we know we've got still so much to go?
I'm still all for 85 over cricket. I think that's the cricket you want to win a flag on. I know this year is going to be one-day cricket and everyone's going for it, but I think in the future, if we can find a way to make it an even draw, similar to Divi 2, I think it makes for a one-day premiership, two-day premiership. It makes for a perfect comp, especially if it's that even.
And so I suppose at the end of the day, when you consider that you've taken on East Belmont and come away with the spoils, it's a pretty pleasing result.
Yeah, it's exactly where we wanted to be early, 3-0. We know we had a hard run early, and again we've got South Bowen next week, who obviously have an amazing lineup. So we wanted to start the season well, just in case any slip-ups throughout the year.
I know you mentioned about the seamers maybe not quite getting the job done, but are you intrigued a little bit by the way in which the slow bowlers for every side in the competition are really having such a great impact on the game?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is, but I know East Belmont with Sean and Barzy, they come out and they go hard and really put it on you, and that's what they did today. But yeah, with the spinners, I don't know if it's the wicket or the one-day cricket, but yeah, they seem to be controlling the game pretty well.
South Bowen's rising star Harry Hornstein impressed, making an unbeaten 40 after earlier taking 3 for 23 in the Swans' breakthrough win over St Joseph's. The 16-year-old all-rounder combined with Clinton Peake, who made 44 not out, in an unbeaten 91-run fifth-wicket partnership to run down the Saints' 133, 4 wickets down. Kyle Bienenfeld sparked the assault with a new ball for the Swans, taking 4 for 19. While St Joseph's coach Andrew Hodgson was the leading run scorer with an unbeaten 67.
Cheer, cheer the South Bowen Swans, honour the name as time marches on. Keep that proud tradition high, like our past legends in the sky. Whether the odds be great or be small, South will go on and win overall. While the fighting Swans are marching on to victory!
Vishesh Malhotra's enterprising 42 from just 35 balls sparked Lara's 8 for 211 against Leopold, with the Lions falling 21 runs short. Rob Sadamarco made 49 as Ben Horn took 3 for 23 for Leopold. Rearguard action proved vital, adding 114 for the last 5 wickets. In response, Leopold found its own cornerstone in the form of opener Harry James, who made 52, repelling the Cats' attack for 109 balls despite the procession of wickets around him. Lockie Neate made 39, teaming with James in a 70-run stand, but there was too much left for the latter order. Gus Boyd's blistering 86-ball 109 rocketed the Two Blues to an emphatic 110-run win over the Tigers at Burdu Reserve. Boyd savaged the Tigers' attack, bludgeoning 5 sixes and 9 fours to underpin his side's impressive 8 for 228, although Dev Foot captured 3 for 48 and Gareth Yelland 2 for 36 despite the carnage. The Tigers struggled to mount a legitimate challenge with the bat as wickets fell at regular intervals throughout the innings, with only Jordan Moran making 31, Mitch Ford 23 and skipper Luke Ford 23. Seamer Dylan Hodge was Newtown and Chewell's best performed bowler with 4 for 24. Merger Bullock's impressive start to the season came to a stop as the Heat dispensed a categorical 106-run defeat to the McDonald Reserve visitors. A 119-run fifth-wicket stand between Josh Larkin, who made 65, and Shay Deary, who made 55, provided the necessary momentum to Heighton's innings after earlier slumping to 4 for 32. Mitch Humm generated good pace to secure 3 for 36 for the Frogs. Merger Bullock's innings never got started as Nathan McCoach took 4 for 21 and Matt Tattersall 2 for 24, heading an attack that ensured wickets fell at regular intervals. Nick Grozdanovsky was the only Mergy batsman to reach double figures, crafting a quick-fire 28 before being run out. Welcome back to The Inside Edge, proudly supported by Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers with Wes Cusworth and Mark Brunga, and I believe you had an opportunity to catch up with a couple of the key players for the Geelong West Rams women's program.
Absolutely, Wes. A great program there. They're running 4 teams this year, so things going very, very well at West Oval. So it was great to catch up with Abby Chapman and then also Sophie Dowling to have a chat about how things are going for the Rams in the ladies' competition. Well, Abby, welcome to the show, and you play in one of the 4 teams at the Geelong West Cricket Club in the ladies' competition and in the Finnemore team in Division 1. Tell us a little bit about how you've been going. I understand you had a very narrow loss on the weekend to Geelong.
Yeah, we did. So we only lost by 4 runs. It was a great game. We previously lost to Ocean Grove the week before by 13, which was also a very close game. And our first round, we had a good win against North Geelong, which was great. I'm hoping that we can face these teams again because it was a great challenge, and it's great to have more clubs in the competition because it's growing, which is a great thing. So yeah, it was really good.
And 4 teams, that's a really impressive output for Geelong West. It's probably in front of all the other clubs in terms of the number of teams.
Yeah, so I think we're the only team in the competition who has been able to field 4 teams. I think all of the girls have, someone that they've been able to bring along, and we have a social media platform called Rams Chicks, which we have also gained a lot of players from, which has been really good. And obviously we have the footy and netball club, which we've been able to source from, and some of those girls have come over as well, which has been great.
We spoke to Ash Grinter from East Belmont last week, and she told us on the Geelong Cricket Show that they'd had a lot of success in recruiting players from other sports like baseball, softball and things like that hadn't really been able to be played over the winter. Is that similar for Geelong West?
Yeah, kind of in a way. I feel like the girls had lost touch with sports and stuff, and that obviously want to fill in their time a little bit during COVID because everyone's been at home, sitting on the couch, not doing much. So we have a really good social side of things as well. Like the boys include us in everything, which is really great, and we have great functions and everything. So I feel like the girls saw that as well and thought, I might give it a try, make some more friends and whatnot. So yeah.
And who's in charge of the team in the in your team? Who's coaching at the moment?
So Sam Kelly coaches us, and then we've got like 5 or 6 other senior guys which help out, which is really great.
And how do you find that? Are they good and patient coaches and take the time to share their knowledge with you?
Yeah, so Sam's been coaching us for I think 2 or 3 years now, which has been great. So he's been with us the whole way through, and he's been helping us grow throughout the years as well. So he coaches the under-15s as well and plays Div 1 with our men's. So he's doing a great job, helping out the club. And then Noah has been with us for 2 years as well now, and he's been really great as well. He's just really patient and gives us great advice when we need it. And then we've got also Sam Allen, Tom Conadaris, Ed Common, Jared Maraka now as well. So it's been really great to get those guys on board because, yeah, they're all really patient with us and they don't talk too technical to us, which is really good and it's what we need.
Absolutely. And yourself, batsman, bowler, bit of each?
A little bit of each, more of a bowler than a batter. Pull on the pads, keeping for a little bit if need be, but yeah.
Off the long run or a bit of spin or?
Nah, more of a pace, just a little run up. Can't get too tired before I get there.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic anyway, Abby, and you're doing a great job there at Geelong West. Thank you very much for joining us on the Geelong Cricket Show and all the best to all 4 teams this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, Sophie, welcome to the show. Great to have someone else from Geelong West on the show with us tonight. You're one of the players in the Division 1 teams, Division 2 teams, and you've got 3 teams altogether playing in Division 2. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've got a huge group of girls now who field the other 3 teams. A lot of newbies to cricket, which is really fun, just to learn about the sport and what we're really doing out there, because some of us have no idea.
And do you rotate between all 3 of the teams, or do you just simply stay to one particular squad with the other 3 teams?
Yeah, so last season we only had 2 teams. So we've got a team of a lot of new girls who have played a season before, and then we've got now 2 teams of girls fresh out, haven't played cricket before. So a lot of us girls rotate through just to help everyone out so we know how we're playing, what we're trying to do and all of that. So just help each other out and just have fun out there, really.
And how exciting is it to actually be playing cricket in an organised competition on a weekly basis?
It's been really fun. Like, I'd never played cricket before, didn't really know how to play either, and we've just had the most fun out there. We just go out there, see what we can do. Literally, if we hit runs, we're ecstatic. Like, we've had clubs laugh at us because we've got girls who've never made runs, making runs for the first time, and they're thinking, why are these girls cheering? But we just have the best time and just, have a fun day, and we're proud of all the efforts that we put in.
It's important to have that little bit of fun too, isn't it, rather than taking it too seriously?
Yeah, I think we always say we have the most fun out of all the sides. We just show up and have a good time, see what we can do, and we're just like proud that we're improving. Like, if we've got girls who didn't know how to bowl or didn't know how to bat and they're hitting balls and having a crack, like we're working towards our own achievements really.
And how did you come to get involved? You said you weren't really a cricket person beforehand. What was the attraction when you first decided to join?
Yeah, basically I think I got roped in. I had friends who were like, we're playing cricket, you should come along, and I'm a bit of a okay person, and then suddenly they were like, cool, training's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we'll see you there. And I was like, no worries, I'll be there.
And you've certainly enjoyed it since you've arrived there?
Yeah, for sure. I love it now, and I'm like, yep, cool, this is when we're playing cricket. Like, I think people laugh at me a bit because I'm not a huge sporting person. But yeah, it's so much fun, and I always say to anyone, like, come down, have a game, see what we do at training. Like, and so many girls, that's how we recruit. They come down and they see how much fun we're having, and they want to stick around.
And it's great from a club aspect. We spoke to Abby before, and she mentioned that the men's players are really involved in the program as well. It must feel like a really tight-knit club there at Geelong West this year.
Yeah, we've got awesome coaches who really look after us, and they'll take us aside, and sometimes we'll spend like half an hour just working on a bowling technique. We probably look like idiots doing yoga, but we get it done, and then all of us, when we suddenly like put into play what we've really been learning, and we feel like we're making progress, and everyone pumps us up as well. They really make you feel good for just, even though some girls might be bowling faster and more accurately, if you're improving, the boys really make you feel good about it.
Well, you've got in Division 2, you've got Geelong West Chapman, Geelong West Spence and Geelong West Whitten. How are the three teams going? Have they scored any wins yet?
I don't think so. I think those three teams are just in it for a lot of fun. We're just happy, like, if we take wickets, we think we're doing well, and catches and all of that. I guess we're playing our own game, but probably hoping to get some wins in there soon. But yeah, just chugging along nicely.
Well, that's fantastic. It's really great to see the ladies having lots of fun with their cricket, and great to see them out in the park. Sophie, thanks very much for joining us on the Geelong Cricket Show, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Well, of course, there was some spectacular cricket across the course of the weekend in all grades. GCA 3 really caught my attention. It was a fabulous effort by Warren Ponds Deakin. And Mark, I can tell you, the man they call AB was at the forefront for Warren Ponds Deakin. Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us on the Geelong Cricket Show, The Inside Edge. It's fabulous to catch up with you. You're enjoying your cricket in Geelong, no doubt?
Yes, sir, definitely. I'm enjoying a lot.
Now, tell me a little bit more about your innings against Thompson on the weekend. I believe you smashed a big century. It was a very, very important century.
Yeah.
Tell us about how it all happened.
Yeah, it was a very important century for me, especially I got a duck the other week. Now I scored a 120. Eventually, I think it came at the right time. Yeah, the two particularly against the Thompson, which has a very good side, very good bowling attack. Yeah, I feel pumped.
And particularly as your innings came from only 106 balls. So
Yeah. The kind of innings I played, it comes naturally to me. I can play shots when I'm high on confidence. Yeah.
Now, it's one thing to be able to hit the ball forcefully, but it's another thing to obviously be able to pace your innings. Was that something that you were required to do over the weekend in terms of just working into your innings before you really started to play some big shots?
Not like that. Like someone need to step up because we lost 2 matches on a trot. So someone need to step up. And I played my natural game. That was what my coaches told to me to perform. And I did my job, I think.
Yeah, and obviously quite a number of boundaries, including 9 sixes.
Yeah. I'm very happy to hit huge sixes, obviously, like Clapham's and Shelley's. They obviously does that. Yeah.
Now, I know that you spent quite a bit of time at the crease with your new coach, Gary Lollicato. Tell us a little bit about Gary and how he has made an impact at the club.
Yeah, Gary is he's a very calm guy on the field, but he's always pumped up. He's enthusiastic. he want to perform for our club. And I thank Daniel Breen for recruiting him. He made a lot of difference to our club, I think, Gary.
And obviously, Waurn-Ponds Deakin has had its up and down periods of time and had some really successful periods, but at the same time, maybe has been a bit thin in terms of talent. But are you feeling confident that you can turn things around and have a really positive season?
Yeah, we have set a short-term goals like to finish in the top 4 by the end of the Christmas. Deakin has a lot of students, particularly to play for the club. Like there's a bit of up and downs. Like Mayuka, he went to other club. And there's a bit of up and downs. It happens to every club, I guess.
Now, I believe you've been at Waurn-Ponds for 3 seasons now.
Yeah, it is like 4th season for me to play for Ponds. Yeah.
And when you consider that you've obviously seen quite a lot of 2-day cricket in your time at Waurn-Ponds, this season, of course, is something quite unique because they're all going to be 1-day games. Does that suit you?
Yeah, it particularly suits me because the kind of innings I played the other day, you can see, not only me, all the players who play for Ponds suits the 1-day cricket. We didn't had good success in the previous seasons in the 2-day games, but now I think we'll get a success. You will see in near future, I think.
And obviously you've been in the Geelong region for pretty much those heading towards the 4 years now. Tell me about what you think of Geelong as a community and particularly as a cricket community compared to what you've seen in the past.
From our club, like the natives from our club, they embrace different cultures. I like that a lot. They welcome us with open arms. That's what our team management does. So I'm happy for that.
And obviously that's the sort of thing that's driven by people like Daniel Breen
people
have
like
created...
Daniel Breen, he has been like exceptional guy. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's like, he has been the backbone of our club, I can say that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so moving forward, knowing that it's a really long season and obviously we're just 3 rounds into it, there's still a lot of work to be done, isn't there?
I think 15 games more. I think we need to win at least 10 to be in the finals. We'll try for that.
And from what you've heard in your conversation with people from other clubs and also what you've observed so far, are there any sides in particular that you think are going to be really, really difficult to get past?
I think Koraya is playing a decent cricket these days. Last year they haven't performed well. I think I'm looking forward to play against Koraya. I scored 70 odd runs last season, so I'm going to smack them as well. I think so. Yeah.
And what about your performance with the ball? Do you like getting the ball in hand?
Yeah, I got 2 wickets the other day. I considered very less runs. That came from like our coach Troy always supports me. Yeah.
Well, terrific. Well, all I know is that the Waurn-Ponds Deakin crew really enjoy having you in their team, and we really appreciate having you in our Geelong cricket community.
Thank you.
Congratulations so much on your outstanding work across the course of last weekend, and we look forward to some really big scores from you as this season continues.
Thank you very much.
Mark, as we wrap up this week's show, what games have really caught your interest, starting with GCA 3?
Well, I think, Wes, there a very interesting game between Waurn-Ponds Deakin. Of course, we spoke to AB earlier in the show, and they're off to a very good start this season. But so too are Guild Saints. They're sitting in the top 4. So these two teams come up against each other at Deakin Oval. So that should be a fairly entertaining game, I think.
And GCA 2?
Well, GCA 2, I'm interested to see how Alexander Thompson will go up against one of the really big teams in the competition in Marshall. They'll play here at Marshall on Saturday, so I think that'll be a very interesting test for Alexander Thompson, just to see where they are in the pecking order in Division 2 this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be spending my time, of course, across GCA 1, and whilst it may not seem on the surface to be the standout game, I think the game between Leopold and also Highton should be an absolute belter. The new kids on the block have hardly put a foot wrong. They are playing really, really competitive cricket under James Gillard and also Hayden Murrell. But at the same time, Leopold desperately need that breakthrough win. And if they can get in behind the likes of Harry James, who of course was fabulous with that 52 last week against Lara, and they can show a little bit of further stability in the upper order, I think that they can be very competitive too. It's such an even GCA 1 season. I'm really looking forward to what this week's cricket might bring us.
Absolutely, Wes. Let's hope the nature gods are on our side and we get some nice clear weather for everyone to have a good hit on the weekend, and we wish them all the best of luck in all of the games.
And let's hope it's not nearly as windy as it was earlier in the week when we were contending with that in preparation for this big program. Well, that is our program for this week. Our thanks once again to Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers for their generous support. I'm Wes Cusworth. On behalf of Mark Brunga, we say goodbye.